Looks like we are okay. We're good. What's up, Schwartz Force? Welcome back to the channel. We got another live stream broadcast here. This time, my special guest. I'm gonna do his intro for him. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Matt Stingray. This watch. We're gonna take a look at. Yeah, man. So thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, this is, I feel like buddies, finally, we're getting into it. And
it's a long time coming.
Yes, sir. So definitely for the live chat, for everyone that has joined and will be joining, appreciate it. And of course, drop comments throughout our stream so that way we can just kind of see what's going on. I know it's going to take a few minutes for people to kind of trickle in. So real quick, I'm going to do in honor of our buddy Matt over at Beer and Watches. I got this Lost Gold IPA. I'm gonna crack into that. We got, look at Miguel with SoCal Daddy's home.
Got water.
Got some water. What's up, Miguel? Thanks for joining us. And got Ken from Pittsburgh. Thanks for joining, Ken.
I can't see nothing. I'm trying to get in though on my
computer. Is it okay?
Yeah.
I put mine on. Let me pause that stream.
Here we
that
go.
Way.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Peter, thanks for joining us, buddy. I see you in there as well.
Everybody?
And then I'm gonna. So, have you ever seen these? Are you a big beer drinker?
No, I was years ago, and I don't got anything. I don't know why I just kind of stopped. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So these glasses are like fancy beer glasses.
Nice.
They're called Teku glasses, and I've discovered them, and yeah, it kind of enhances.
That's cool. But when I do have a beer, it'll be a Yingling. Like a Yingling.
Okay,
big fan of Yingling.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I need to try some.
Oh man, it's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I see we got Average Joe Watch Reviews. What's up, man? Adrian, somewhere in time. What's up, bro? So a lot of familiar faces.
Loving the background. Trying to step it up, dogs. 2021.
It's
New
good.
Year's. There'll be changes coming to the channel. You always got to keep it fresh. You know what I'm saying? Always got to change it up. That intro is getting a little long, a little old in the tooth. So
no. I love that intro. Cracks me up with the watch knobs.
It's a little long away and stuff. So I dig it, but it's I always got to keep evolving, man.
I feel you. I'm actually trying to get Brian Trump. He does amazing work with videography, photography, and stuff. And so he's going to help me out with kind of sprucing up my channel a bit. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's cool. Man, let me tell you something. You can tell the difference between the channel when the pros start working. Like when you get, because I know some of these big channels, they pay pro editors to edit their stuff. I mean, they got professional computer guys. They got professional people to set their backgrounds up. And it makes a difference. The rest of us are just kind of learning as we go, so.
Yeah. And it's like, you're so proud of like your work, and then someone comes along and just blows it out of the water. You're like, you realize I worked on this for weeks, right?
Yeah. You're like, you know how much money this cost me? And then, Average Joe and I, we always have this joke about like when anybody makes a negative comment, we're like, wow, well, where's it on your channel, pal?
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Hey man, I've yet to see hate from another YouTuber because they know the struggle, the effort, just the passion. So yes, every hateful comment I've ever gotten is someone who doesn't have a channel, but they got an opinion. So hey, knock yourself out.
Yep. Keep
right.
it going. Hey, let me just say, I want to say one thing, man.
Okay.
Now that we're here live, I want to thank you.
Oh, look, you were gonna. He was gonna give me a thanks and like go all into it. And then, okay, you're back. All right.
What the heck? Being one of the first channels. What the heck, man?
Hey, we're back. And he's got it. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's like, what?
All right, let's give it a sec. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you were gonna say?
I was gonna say, for being one of the first channels to promote my channel. So Watch Chris reached out to me. He was the first one to help me out a lot. But then all of a sudden, one day, I think it was probably about last summer, I started getting these people showing up in my channel. They're like, hey, Schwartz Force sent me. And I'm like, what? What is going on? I just got like 15 subscribers, which was huge for me because I didn't even know if I had hit 100 at that point. I was like, whoa, what's this Schwartz Force thing? I got to check this out. Yeah. And it was you, man. So I wanted to thank you for that. I always want to thank you for that. It was cool for that shout out.
And I'm just paying it forward. Average Joe, he was kind of the first like bigger channel that reached out to me and was like, hey, let me bring you on my channel. Let's do a little collab. And you get that spike. And even if it doesn't put you at 1,000 usually, right? But it gives you that kind of push to keep going, man. Keep doing what you do. If you enjoy it, like, you have this whole community of YouTubers and content creators, influencers that are there to support you. And it just takes a little bit of time out of our schedule, right? And the same thing will happen with you. You're going to come across some smaller channel and you're going to be able to just kind of lift them up a little. And
that's it.
That's what it's all about. So It's my pleasure, man.
Like, do that enough. Yeah, it was cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny because I wanted the Schwartz Force because I knew people like I saw your channel and you didn't know who I was, but the fact that I had like these people going and commenting was just kind of like,
it was cool. Yeah.
What the heck?
That's where I found, that's where I found Adrian's channel somewhere in time. I found a couple of channels off of the list that you had dropped. And also, man, it's that YouTube algorithm. I know they try to suggest channels that you like, but I had never heard of your channel. There's never, because the algorithm hadn't really pushed it out there. So
you just weren't searching for the right homages. That's all.
Right.
So real quick, okay,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say also one more thing. Is I got to commend you on, we discussed it a little bit in the background, but I got to commend you for doing that review, knowing you were going to get savage on that Filippo Loretti, man.
Hey, man, you know what? I appreciate it. And here's what it comes down to, right? Like, one, I have thick skin. I wouldn't be on social media and YouTube if I didn't. So I kind of knew the fire I was going to be, the coals I was walking across were going to be hot. But it's a watch that you can find tons of their quartz watches, reviews out, all these fashion channels and stuff, whatever. Let me see your automatics. Let me see the best you have to offer. And let's take a real, honest look at it. But even that was not without its, man, comments. But that was what kind of had me interested. Like, let's actually take a look. So,
well, no, what I enjoyed about it was you didn't just jump on the bandwagon and say, these guys are scumbags without reviewing one of their watches or a couple of their watches. And then if they gave you a crappy one, because I gotta be honest with you, I think that company, along with the rest of those fashion brands, I'm gonna put it out there. They're scumbags. They are selling, cheap products, cheap watches for expensive prices compared to what you get. So I think the company as a whole comes off as they're real shady from the stuff you've seen at Ben's Watch Club and all that kind of stuff and your videos. But what you did was you said, I'm actually going to get one or two. I'm going to take a look at this sucker, give an honest review, and not just say it's crap right off the bat. Because honestly, from watching your video, I think the watch that they gave you was not bad. It didn't look like it was the worst watch ever.
Okay, and this is a video I'm going to make because, and I'd love to hear from the people in the chat. If you fell victim to buying a fashion watch before you got into watches, because my wife and I both, I remember reading this GQ magazine and it had legit watch brands and the Daniel Wellington. And I was like, man, for $200, cool. This is like a nice minimalist watch. And my wife bought a Daniel Wellington. She bought a Movement. And I'm like, but the difference I will say, and this is a video I'll make, comparing it with the Filippo Loretti, is at least the Filippo Loretti gave you a stainless steel, solid, like an automatic, like some legit sapphire crystal. Like, it actually had some resemblance of a higher quality watch. Granted, grossly overpriced, just like the others, but it wasn't like a $10, $5 watch that they're charging $200. It was a $60 watch they're charging $200 for. So at least it's like, okay, out of the 3 or the 4 that I've seen, it's the better of them. But yes, what overshadows that immensely is all the shadiness, all the people paying money and not getting a product. It's like, dude, come on, get your stuff. If they got their stuff together, it'd be not half bad. So, well,
the whole thing, the Italian luxury or Swiss luxury, and it's like, bro, you're not Italian, bro. Ben broke that whole thing down. It's just real shady to me. But like I said, I commend you for actually doing that, knowing ahead of time you were going to get some fire on that. So.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. The funny thing is because my test was this: if I post this video and I lose 10% of my subs, I messed up. Right. But all the hate I got was from people who weren't subscribed. There's no loyalty. So I was like, okay, whatever then. The people that, if you've watched my channel, you know who I am. You know what I'm about. I'll buy a $20 watch. I'll buy a $600 watch. Whatever. Let's see what's up. Right.
Yep.
But then people who are already subscribed to my channel know me. And I feel like we're already, I don't know how many minutes in, but tell my subscribers and new viewers about you, your story, your YouTube channel, your journey with watch collecting. Take it away, bro.
So if you don't know who I am, which most of the people in here right now are probably YouTubers, fellow YouTubers, so they do. But if you're watching this later and you don't know, name is Matt Stingray. No, that's not my real last name, and I run the Rock the Watch channel. As you can see behind me, kind of mix it up with some rock and roll and some watches.
Yep.
So I've been one of those guys very similar to like the Mad Watch Collector and a lot of other guys that have explained, like, I've always worn a watch, but I was never really into watches until a couple years ago. And then I went, head first into the hobby and just got down in the weeds with it. I always wore watches, and when those suckers died, I just went and bought a new one. Didn't have a clue what the heck the little turny bezel on, the spinny bezel thing I used to play with.
Yeah, the little clicky thing.
I never knew what it was for. But a couple years ago, actually, it's funny you mention it. There's a guy at work, and love the guy, but he's got this huge Invicta collection, and they are the biggest Invictas you can get, like the giant ones. And he brought them in one day, and he's like, "Bro, you got to check this out," because I was looking for a watch. My Casio, I had this Casio. It was actually one that Somewhere in Time reviewed. Okay. It's Illuminator dive watch. You push the little button at the 2 o'clock, and it's got LEDs at 6. And that's a great watch, man.
Yeah.
That's a great watch. So that sucker lasted me about 3 years on the battery, and then started acting hinky. Put a new battery in, and it didn't work. The second hand was stuck doing one of these bounce things. So I started looking for another watch, and I'm like, dude at work was talking about these Invictas, and so I looked at that stuff. I'm like, it's kind of big. And I just started watching, just consuming the heck out of YouTube watch channels. Of course, TGV was one of the first ones that popped up, because anytime you type anything with watches, they're going to throw his videos out there.
Yeah.
So watching that, watched him, The Time Teller, Just One More Watch, Just the Watch, David
Teddy Baldessar, probably.
Yep. All those big channels, name them all. And started watching and just started learning. And then probably summer of 2019, it was, I bought my first expensive watch. I bought a Tissot C-Star 1000 for like $500. I'm like, I can't believe I spent $500 on a watch. This is insane, right?
What am I thinking?
Yeah, what am I thinking? This is nuts. But it's a really nice watch. I still have that one.
Yeah.
A great watch. But it just escalated like a force fire from there, and it just got
dude. Yes, you are like tearing through the tiers. You started here, and I'm like, all right, cool, man. And then I'm like, oh shoot, whoa, like this guy's on another level. So tell us about your collection. So how many do you have? Because I know like things can change, but how many would you say you have in like?
So I think when I did State of the Collection, I had around 43 or 45. I forgot a couple of them.
Yeah.
But then Chris and I did we did a live stream where we were selling our watches, and I think I sold about 8 of them. So I'm probably around 35. I got a couple more in though. So somewhere in the mid 30s. I got to do another purge. But yeah, it started with that. So Christmas of 2019, I got that. My wife bought me the Omega Seamaster Professional 300. Yeah, it's a great watch. It's a great watch. And then from then on, I was just like, I gotta have more. And I went nuts with glycines and all that kind of stuff. Those are great watches too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, now it seemed to be trending up.
I see that
up market.
But I totally get it. And like, so, and I was looking through the comments here when you were saying that. So like Justin EDC here. So I'm curious, is his name Justin? Just Justin, is that your name, Justin, or is it just in ED? Okay, either way. So he's saying saving up for a first Swiss watch, and that's kind of like same thing I did. I looked at the Tissot, glycine, and then like Frederic Constant, and all these brands where you're like,
that's a nice one.
Yeah, and you can get in to Swiss made automatics rather for $300 to $500 reasonably.
Yep.
And if you can get a Swiss made quartz, obviously very inexpensive, but it just depends when you're talking. Like once you want like a Swiss made luxury watch, well then you're going up quite a few steps there.
But if you shop right, you can get them. I mean, if you go out in the gray market, because I don't buy anything from the AD anymore. My wife bought that first Omega. I have to do a video on that story. I've told it before, but not everybody's heard it. And after that, I buy gray market now. And if you're willing to accept certain things, like it might not come in the original packaging, they guarantee that at least the reputable ones like Joma Shop and some of these other ones will guarantee that it is 100% authentic Swiss luxury watch, but it might not have the right box or might not come with the extra rubber thing. And I'm sitting there like, for example, I bought that Frederic Constant High Life. It's a great watch.
Yeah.
I was on eBay.
Yeah.
I paid 1,300 bones for it. And it actually was on eBay, listed by Joma Shop. So it actually came through Joma Shop. Didn't have the original box. Didn't have, I guess apparently it comes with a rubber strap, which I'll never change it out anyway. Yeah. Retail on that watch is $2,000.
Yeah. So you're getting
$700 difference because it doesn't have, you know what? The boxes all go down under this table I got that I filmed videos on.
Exactly. So if you're going to, it's kind of like if you're going to sell it later, okay, yeah, you might take a hit, but you didn't buy it new. So you're really not taking, someone else took the hit for you.
Right.
So
exactly.
You'll break even, if not make a little.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was one of the things that like getting my first Swiss made watch was like, let me save up. But now, and I mentioned this in other streams that I've done, is that like $200, $300 watches used to be kind of like, do I want to spend that money? And now it's like, okay, $1,000, $2,000, do I want to spend that? And it's going to get to a point where you're like $6,000, $10,000, like grand. Yeah, I could probably swing it. It's like, it's getting scary.
You'll make it work.
Yeah.
You're like, I can swing that. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. But I'm with you there. Like eBay, most of the watches, if they're out new, I try and buy used on eBay, or at least camp out for a secondary, secondhand. So yeah.
Well, and eBay too now has this thing that Chris told us about a while back, and I saw another video people talking about it. So I guess any watch over $2,000 that you buy on eBay will go to like a watchmaker or a AD or something to get inspected to ensure that's exactly what it is you're buying. So it's exactly 100% original and authentic. So you've got that covered.
It's good peace of mind for sure. Yeah. It's funny. So your wife was in the comments and she said, what else has she bought you since Christmas? And dude, I'm guessing that most of what you've had on your channel were gifts from the wife.
Yes. Yes.
Approved by the financial,
100%. For that amount of money. Yeah, it's gotta be. She pushes me actually. Don't let her fool you.
Okay.
Do not let her fool you.
She's the enabler.
The enabler. 100%. She's like, babe, you want to buy another watch?
And
I'm like, and I go, what do you want?
Yeah,
and it's
that's the question.
And she don't want things. She don't like a lot of jewelry and stuff. I mean, I bought her. I'll be dropping that in videos. I bought her a Longines Grand Classique. It's a real nice watch. Quartz. She wanted to go with the quartz. But typically it's house projects. And
yeah, I know how that is. Those aren't house projects. Aren't
house
cheap.
Improvements. Yep.
Nice, man. Well, I'm with you there. And I know, like, I was looking at the comments there. Brian Trump was saying, like, eBay, always camping it. And then the problem is, like, pulling the trigger. And I had this chat with him where it's like, I have a monthly kind of watch budget. And I'll sell watches and add to that amount. But I'm always kind of looking like, okay, there's something. It's on eBay for 6 more days left. Okay, let me just camp out in the shadows and then see what happens. So, yeah, I totally do the same thing.
Dude, Amazon.
Joma Shop. I noticed you buy a lot from Joma Shop. So is it just the deals are too good or what?
They got awesome deals. I got to say, the only problem I have with Joma Shop, pay attention to when you go look at the watch down and you're ready to put it in the cart. If it says in stock, will ship, you can get it in like 2 to 3 days. It'll ship. But if it's it'll give you a timeline, and they're pretty good on sticking to it. It'll say like 4 to 6 weeks. Like one of my Tag Heuer Aqua Racer, I ordered it. And then all of a sudden I was like, where's my watch? After like a week. And then I went back and looked and I'm like, 4 to 6 weeks. And sure enough, it was 6 weeks to the day that it showed up. Yeah. So apparently they got a huge watch network. All these guys work together. They got their tentacles out there and they just bring in these watches that are not hot sellers or whatever. But man, Joe, I've been 100% satisfied with them. But however, they don't seem to have a lot of Rolex, so I had to get my Milgauss off of Swiss Watch Expo.
Okay.
So
was that experience pretty good?
It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. The package got delayed in shipping with UPS, so I was sweating bullets, because it was a $10,000 watch floating around in the mail or in the UPS system. So other than that, but I'm completely satisfied with them too.
Yeah. So, and I was just asking in the chat. So, what do most of you guys out there watching use? Like, do you do Joma Shop? I've bought one watch from Joma Shop. Actually, 2 watches from Joma Shop. I do a lot of Amazon and a lot of eBay.
Yep.
But I haven't done Chrono 24, stuff like that. I mean, I'm just not at that level yet. But I'm not opposed to it. I've heard probably the same stuff you've heard.
Yeah,
things to look out for. If it's from someone in freaking Russia, don't even bother.
Right. That's my biggest worry. I'm not trying to take the chance. It's kind of like, see this guitar right here, this fluorescent green one, right?
Yeah.
So that's a Solar guitar. Get off the subject a little bit, but it has to do with the whole shipping thing. So that's Solar guitar. The owner is out of Sweden, makes his guitars in Indonesia, but they get shipped from Spain. So it was a real nightmare to try to order it from overseas. I ordered the guitar. You can only order it from one place on his website. There's no USA dealers. And then it sends me this painted thing that's all in Spanish. And I'm like, oh, it's just kind of sketchy. So I get on YouTube and look at some videos. They're like, no, that's normal. It comes from Spain. So I order the sucker, comes from Spain, freaking customs here, tears the boxes open to check it, doesn't retape it. So that whole thing right there, I'm like, I want to stay away from overseas. Also, I sold some watches. Real good dude, one of my subscribers, real good dude. And I would do it again for him, but he's in Canada. So to get up in Canada, they got this VAT tax. I got to fill out all this extra paperwork to get to UPS. Three copies of this form, declare the value, all this kind of stuff. It's such a headache doing international stuff that I'm with you, man. Chrono 24, buying something from somebody in Poland, no offense against anybody in Poland, but it's like...
There's red flags, right? I would definitely do the authorized. Same with eBay. If I'm spending over $1,000, I want that authorization check if possible. I agree. Like, it's just kind of, pictures are good, but if I don't have every picture of every angle, then I'm kind of like hesitant to pay a fair / overprice. If it's underpriced, like super low, okay, yeah, because you're pricing it because of the damage that it probably has or whatever. But if it's like you're trying to sell it just under what I can go buy it new, and the pictures are blurry and I can't really see it, I'm out.
The old famous potato cam.
Exactly.
Right? Let's take it on a potato cam. What is this?
It's just 2021. I want 4K. I want 8K resolution. Like, come on.
I want you to tell me where every nick and scratch is on this sucker.
Yeah, and it sounds like and that's the thing too, like us being in the US, and I was looking at the comments too, like Ted was saying, in the UK, it's harder to get better overseas deals. And I've noticed that too, that if you're already overseas, it sounds like AliExpress and some of the other vendors that they use are better, versus for us, we don't want to wait 2 months for a watch to show up. And then we have Amazon Prime, awesome, but
a day or two, right?
And free returns, 30 days. So it's like, any reason. So that's why you see a lot of us in the US kind of push Prime from Amazon, because it's just good peace of mind. If you don't even, the watch doesn't even have to break. You just have to not like it, and you can send it back and get your money back. So
but I have seen now. I've reviewed. I think I've had 4 Pagani designs, and I have not had good luck with those suckers. And one was the Seagull 1963. That's a great watch. I passed that on, sold that to somebody, and he's enjoying that. And it's a great watch, but man, it takes like 2 months for them to show up, where I've seen some of the other UK channels where they order from AliExpress and boom, less than a week, they get their watches. Apparently they have a warehouse or something near the UK
for returns. Like there's a return center nearby. So
forget about returning it.
Yeah. I kind of envy, I wish that I could get those watches faster. I'm sure we all do, because just phenomenal deal, bang for buck. But it is what it is. Here we are, like just working with what we got. And I have yet to really do local AD shopping, just because, I don't know, I just haven't had the need to, I guess. So don't. They don't have, I did it a couple months ago. I went down looking for the Breitling. So I got a Breitling Avenger 43. I went down to this mall. It was about an hour away from us, south in the capital of Virginia, Richmond.
It's this huge short pump. They got like 3 or 4 authorized dealer, Rolex, Breitling, all that different jewelry stores down there. I go down there and they didn't want a deal. And I'm sitting here looking, I just can't do it, dude. I look at the watch. Now, Breitling has this one Chronomat Bentley, they call it. It's like a green Bentley color on the dial, and it's got the bullet bracelet. It's a gorgeous watch. I think they want a little over $8,000 for it. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I saw it like on Joma Shop with a different color dial for like 63. So I'm all about, spending money, but I don't want to get screwed in the process. I just don't want to set my money on fire, especially if you're buying something like that. So,
yeah, man, you got to be careful, I guess. It's just like with everything, just buying secondary and even new, like you got to be careful. But that's kind of, I'm glad we kind of got into that because it seems like a lot of us are all doing the same thing, at least at this level of the watch community, watch fam. We are all looking for a good deal and hesitant to drop big money without having some sort of protections in place. So right on. And I'm so sorry. I feel like rude that we never did a wristwatch check. So what do you got? What do you got, man? You're my guest.
So tonight I am rocking, because that's what I do here, Rock the Watch Channel. We rock watches.
Yeah.
Tudor Black Bay. With the red bezel, man. I like this one. I actually, tell you the truth, like I wanted one of those after I saw those Harrods ones. Have you seen those with the green bezel? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like those, man. But this is a great watch, man. A little top heavy, a little fat, but it's still a good watch. What are you rocking?
It's a great watch. Okay, and also let's do wristwatch check for everyone in the chat. Let's 100%. Hear what you got on the wrists. But so you might have seen my Instagram post. I put my Frederic Constant Classics Index, but I put it back on the bracelet. I had this on a black croc leather. And, the thing is, I don't get dressed up a whole lot these days because no one's going out and doing stuff. And I figured this watch is such a great watch, and it's just been sitting in my box. I was like, let me put it back on the bracelet and wear it out a bit. So that's what I got on the wrist. I just absolutely love it. It's a 43 mil, so it's big. The lug to lug is tall. Small wrist. Sorry, you got to go with the 40 mil option. But for me, this thing, it just hugs it, and I love it. So it's
a great watch. That's a great one. I'm a big fan of bracelets too. I'm not too big on straps. I think only one of mine has a strap. I don't know. Like you said, I'm not a big dress up guy. I wear jeans and a t-shirt a lot of the times. And I don't know. There's something about a metal bracelet on your wrist that's just, Yeah.
It's funny because this is how my mind works, is that I get a watch with a bracelet. I may love the bracelet, but I feel like I'm going to scuff it. I'm going to scratch it. And if I ever decide to sell it, I won't get as much. So I always take the bracelet off and like pack it away. And then I put it on a strap, So I love straps, but I'm trying to enjoy bracelets more because I do like them. And I need to get out of that fear of it's a watch. You got to wear it. It's going to get scuffed. It's going to get banged around. Like that's part of it, right? That's
character. Just adds character.
There you go. So if I don't get as much, if I sell it, whatever. But some of these watches I'm never going to sell.
But tell you the truth, though, a lot of mine now, sitting at a desk, it'll get a lot of scratches on the opposite side with my hand resting on the desk. You get scratches here on the bracelet. But really, a lot. What size is your wrist? 7, 7.5? 7 inch, yeah. Okay. So you usually have to take 2 or 3 links out. So if you scratch this link up, you got extra links. If you sell it, they can just replace it themselves, if that's a big issue. I guess as long as you disclose it, most people won't care.
You know what I'll do? I'll just take a Dremel. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a Dremel to it, and it's gonna be all.
Just buff it up.
It might be flatter. It might lose metal, but hey, whatever, man.
Yep.
I got it like that.
Yep.
Nice. So I wanted to ask, because your channel, you are like just tearing through watch purchasing, which I love because I'm the same way. Although you're on a different level, my friend. But I'm just curious, what are the last 3 watches that you've purchased?
Well, funny enough, I happen to have a wax box here. So let's
right on. Okay.
So I'll give it to you in order. Okay. Let's see here. So this was during Christmas. I got 3 during Christmas. And then 1 after. So first one was Breitling Avenger 43. Yeah, that's an awesome watch. That's a great watch. I think you guys might have seen all of them. I kind of got these at the same time, but Frederic Constant High Life. Yeah. That's a sweet watch. I'm not a big fan of butterfly class, but this one,
Really?
you guys can. No,
I
not
remember
really.
you saying that. But what is it, the comfort thing?
No, it's not that. It's I can't seem to size them up just perfect. You know what I mean? With some of these other ones, you get half links, or you even get micro adjustments, and you can get them just so they're not too tight and not too loose where they're falling all the way down your wrist. Okay. It seems to be on most butterfly clasps. I can't get them to get just perfect. Although this one did get that way, and I think the way it's designed. But I mean, it's got like this gorgeous rose gold rotor on the back. This is a great watch. It's wicked thin. Yeah, I mean, they make.
There you go. Dude. Same thing here at the FC. The thinness, and honestly, like I don't know if your case is slightly a different shape, but like the way this thing sits on the wrist is just
it's awesome. It's awesome. And then I got this. Let's see here, the Citizen Fugu.
Fugu
edition. Fugu.
Yeah, okay.
See, that's a great watch, man. $550 now. I think I overpaid for it because they're limited edition or whatever. But this is a good looking watch, man. Got the 8 o'clock crown. Looks reversed on the camera there. But that's a great watch. Yeah. You don't have to go crazy for some of these.
It's true.
Although there is, you got it. Maybe I'm wrong, but see if you agree with me. You got to admit and it's a feeling thing. You can just feel the quality in that Frederic Constant compared to a Pagani design. You can. You pick it up, the craftsmanship, the build,
there's you know what it is it's subtle, but it's noticeable. There is a small difference. Stainless steel is stainless steel. 316 is 316. I get that. But the way the bracelet finishing is between the links, the way that the everything is smooth. There's no rough edges. Right. And I've said this with other channels and guys that I've talked to, like with a lot of these cheaper brands, you give something up. There's always a trade-off. You're never going to get everything. And people that pretend, like I get it because it's almost there, so you just kind of like give them the okay. But when you put it against a $500,000-$600,000 watch, it's no longer like, oh, or you're saying these are the same. Like, no, they're really not. But
these higher end watch companies don't charge 10 grand for a watch because they want to screw you, that they're overpriced. You know, a lot of the quality. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily worth that much because there is a margin in there. Right. But, you know, there is a difference between a high-end Rolex or something like that, or the last one I picked up was the Zenith.
Oh, dude, that thing is
ceramic. Dude, this thing is ridiculous, bro. It really is. It's so nice.
So did you have options for other colors? You wanted the white one?
So I wanted the white one. Here's the deal. I got a ton of, so I was telling Chris and some of the other guys, the Zenith Defy in titanium looks a lot like, it is integrated bracelet, butterfly class. It looks a lot like this Frederic Constant, or like a Royal Oak or what, you know, it's that style. It's that integrated bracelet, sports feel, in this case, titanium sports watch. And I got a lot of those and I liked it. I was like, that's cool. I said, but I want to mix it up, man. I want to step out of my comfort zone sometimes. Right. Okay. So they make a black one, a blue one, and the white one. And there was something about the white one is totally out of my wheelhouse because everything else I have is dive style or stainless steel sports watches. And I said, yeah, man, let's go with that. Let's go with the white one and just see what happens. You know?
Do it, man. So, yeah. I was only curious because it's like, it just screams spring and summertime. Like, I'm like, dude, that's the watch. You go to the pool, you go to the beach, you better take that sucker with you. Yeah. Because that's the one that, like, you know, hey, like, it is what it is, you know? Yeah. I've always thought about doing that with like the Rolex Submariner homage and throwing a white silicone Oyster Flex strap on it to really scream, yo, look at me over here, right?
And it does, man. It pops. People are like, hey. Like a lot of people don't ever even look at my watches, but I wore it for the first time when I only go to work a couple days a week now because the whole thing. Yeah. And so I wore it the first time I was back in the office, and they're like, "Is that a new watch?" And then I wish I should film this stuff with me trying to explain to people. They're like, I've heard of Rolex.
Yeah, of course they have. Yeah.
What is Zenith? And I'm like, oh, here we go. So try to educate folks, you know.
You got to take them through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are your last 3 watches that you've received, purchased, or been gifted, and been approved by the wife. We'll put it that way.
100%.
Do you have anything that's coming down the pipe as far as like reviews for like micro brands or their watch brands? Like anything?
I don't know if you're
Let's get a sneak peek.
How I am, but I front load the heck out of my videos. So I honestly have like 8 reviews just sitting, waiting. There's in the different stages of being edited and stuff.
Okay.
So because I got little ones still, I still got a 7-year-old at home, and I got so I got to do this like Fridays and Saturday nights, stay up late where it's quiet, turn the lights out in the house, and film the review. So I usually knock out 4 or 5 at a time. I'll record. I got my notes and my cheat notes on specs and features, and I just roll with it. And try to, and then just hold them in the bank. So right now I'm still debating whether or not. I just did the one, and sometimes I'll do them out of order. Like I've had 4 or 5 watches just sitting there. I got the Zenith in, and I said, no, I want to drop this unboxing now. And push some of the other ones back. So I just dropped that Diver 1000 from Deep Blue.
Yeah, that's an awesome dial, dude, man.
That is a nice watch.
Deep Blue is one that I've had in my cart.
Sleep on Deep Blue, guys.
All right, man.
Now, like then the thing you'll see. Like in the full review, I'll do it's a little bit thick, but the way it wears, sometimes specs and features don't say everything. You might think it's fat, like it's 14, 15 millimeters thick, which on paper is thick, but sometimes the way they wear, it just doesn't wear that thick. But it's got a lot of quality, man. It's got a lot, especially for $199.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like I was saying, I've had these Deep Blue watches, 2 of them in my cart. I think it's at Amazon or eBay, one of them, both probably. And they're just like chilling, and I just haven't pulled the trigger.
Now,
so I guess
went to the website. Now on the website, if you go to the website, they're $333.
Okay.
And then you put in the discount code BLUE.
Yeah.
And it knocks 40% off. So you're at $199 for the watch.
Pretty much half. Yeah.
Right. And they got a ton of dial colors. You get 4 or 5 different bracelet colors. Now, if you want it on a rubber strap, that sucker's down after the discount. It's down to like $139, $140, something like that. So, but I was really impressed for the price, what they're offering.
Man. Yeah.
But I got the so Frederic Constant ladies. I'm sorry, excuse me, Longines. Grand Classique ladies watches coming up. I don't expect that one to do well because there's not a lot of ladies that like watches. But hey, we'll drop it anyway.
I would say it won't do maybe well at first, but you never know, man. Videos could get thousands of views in a month. So
now, isn't that weird? You have videos that kind of flatline, and then like 2 months later, you're done. It just spikes, and you're like, what? What is going on with that one?
I know what it is. I figured it out because someone else does a topic and they blow up and you ride their wave. It's kind of like yours is like over here, and then all of a sudden someone else does with a lot of following. And it picks up the algorithm and be like, oh, this is related, puts it in the recommended, and people start clicking away.
Right. Well, I'm all about that. So
hey, whatever, man. We need them other channels to carry us more is what.
100%. I'll take all the help I can get. But I got so I got that one. I got a L'Oreal coming out, which have you ever seen one of those? L'Oreal. Oh, okay.
I've seen the L'Oreal. Yeah. Oh, wait. It's not the Submariner.
It's another Chinese brand. This one is. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like a Yachtmaster chronograph, but not a chronograph. It's got pushers.
Whoa, man! You're hating on my brand, bro. I got the L'Oreal Submariner right here.
It's the same thing. The one I got.
It's bad.
Buddy. Well, and look, I don't say it in every video, but I try to. When you get a watch in, it's a sample size of 1.
Okay.
So you can't necessarily judge the whole brand on that one watch or one widget or one guitar or one anything, because if you saw that Just One More Watch video that Jody did with that root beer Submariner from his buddy Mr. X, where the crown in the rehat was misaligned, and
it's bad.
For that amount that you spent on that watch, dude. So every brand is going to have issues, but this one, you'll see. It's there's funny stuff with it. So you won't see the unboxing, but when I do the full review.
Nice.
So I got that one. I got Watch Chris. Now he's cool, dude. He sends me watches. Man. He sent me 5 watches for review. I got all 5 of those. I got a Rambach, a Luminox coming up, a Notice, which is a real nice watch.
Yeah.
A
seen some of those. Yeah.
Zelos Mako 3. And
That's a great one too.
Yeah,
Titanium? Or is that one stainless steel?
I think that one's stainless steel.
Okay.
And then a Merkur, I think it's a Merkur FOD
yeah.
little chronograph. Yeah. It was cool. It was cool. So yeah, I got that stuff coming up. I pre-ordered a Traska freediver with the mint dial. So that'll be in sometime in March, I think. So yeah, man, that's pretty much what I got on the plate right now. What about you? What are you?
So you got a lot, man. You got way more. I had to pump the brakes on a little bit. I have, and Clam Walker saying Parnas guy. I have one Parnas. I bought a second one. I returned it because the rotor was crazy loud. But Parnas I like. Good bang for buck like value. So the ones that I've recently purchased, the last 3 that I've purchased are, let me see here. So there's I just did my review. You probably saw that, the Marchand.
Yep.
Driver chronograph, man. This thing, I love it. I'm really waiting for the new version that they're coming out with, and so I'm trying to get in touch, trying to see if I can get one maybe before they release, if not right after.
That's an English brand. That's an English.
Yeah,
brand, right?
British. Yeah. So pretty cool story. You know, the owner does a lot of like race car driving, and so there's that inspiration and. Really cool. So I picked that up, and then I have this one. It was one of those, like, I mentioned this on my live or my chat with Brian Trump. This brand, it sounds Italian. It's not Filippo Loretti. I know you guys were hoping it would be. This is Lobini, but it's Chinese. It's not right. It's not Italian. It's Chinese. Let's just get that straight.
Never heard of that.
So yeah, check that out. It's the Interlaken. I picked this up on eBay. And there's the movement. It's a hand wind mechanical, so it's not an automatic, but very cool finishing on it. It's pretty decent. It's large, so small wrist guys, sorry. So I haven't even done an unboxing on this, but that's one that I picked up because it was just too good of a deal to pass up. And then I went through kind of I went nuts. So I showed you that L'Oreal Submariner homage, and it has some compromises to it. And I recently picked up the Tissot Explorer. Right. Now, this thing is amazing, right? Like, this actually checks all the boxes for me. And then I found an option to get the Starbucks Tissot Submariner homage. So this is going to replace the L'Oreal because this one actually has all the good specs that I would want.
Oh, okay.
And I even have the black ceramic bezel insert that it came with. So I'm going to probably swap out the green for the black at some point. But yeah, man. So those are the last 3 I've picked up. Oh, it's 4 technically, but
have you seen this kind of, have you ever seen that channel I Like Watches?
Yes.
Gary he did a recent video where he was comparing like 5 of those, like a Tissot and a Phoebus, and I forget the other brands, and his Tissot was terrible, the machining and everything, So the point I'm making is that goes to show he has got one that he was did you watch the whole video? The bezel was wiggling. There was clicks were bad.
Dang.
Machining on. Yeah, it was a hot mess.
Okay.
And you got a good one. So
yeah. So I will say the weird thing about the bezel action is it kind of sounds weird.
Right.
Like, okay, we'll compare it to a glycine. Okay. Like the bezel on this. Like,
the glycine's got awesome.
Dude. So,
60 clicks though, right?
It's 120. So I heard some of the glycines are 60.
60, yeah.
No, this one's 120. Yeah. I even, like, a guy put a comment and I was like, is it 60? And then I counted. I'm like, nope, it's 120. Oh, yeah. So I don't know what they changed with the bronze, the GL 0265. But so this I actually wore to the beach. I'm going to do a video on it. So I'm forcing patina, I guess you could say.
Okay, yeah.
So you can kind of see a little bit of the green and so my bronze is starting to get some character. But yeah, I wore it to the coast, and so I'm getting some patina on it finally. But yeah,
glycines are awesome. They're thin, man.
They are. Yeah, I feel so bad. We've been like getting into it, and like I'm like the people in the chat are just going off, and so check it out. Okay, so Josh said that you should pick up the Milgauss and compare it to the real thing. I totally agree.
Who makes a Milgauss homage?
Fidelia. I
know who you're talking about, though. I don't know how to say it, though.
Fettuccine.
I'll check that out. I will. I'll check it out.
Okay. Yeah, and I think there's a cheaper Benyar. I know Adrian was saying there's a Benyar option, so you should do them and compare them and show people what's up, because my Benyar was a hot mess, and it seems like that tends to be the case with a lot of these cheaper brands, budget
like
brands.
You said, they got to cut corners somewhere. It can't all
hit or
be
miss.
cheap labor where they save. They do save a lot on that, but they also save on materials and stuff like that. Where they, what does Jody say? Something like it's your peanut butter spread thin or whatever. It really is. It's spread thin on those watches.
It is. I even had where it's like that. They straight up lied on the case back. It says all stainless steel, and it's not. And to me, like, okay, now we're venturing into a different territory. It's no longer like bang
was that
for
the
buck.
One that had the sub dial where it was just stuck at the set and not going to move at all? Or
yeah, so I had to get two of them. That was the Benyar. It was the sub dial. It arrived DOA.
What did they just paint it on? And it
no. Oh, that was the what was that?
What was that one?
The Scheme.
I was like, what? It doesn't move.
It's just
Leave
someone in the comments made me laugh because they were like, at least you could always wear it on a Wednesday or whatever the day it was on. I'm like, the 7th of the month.
The 7th of the month. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, man, it's cool. So that's kind of what I'm going through. As far as a watch that I have coming down the pipeline, as far as review, it is the Zenea, and I know a few of the guys in the channel have already gotten this different variants, but this is the Ula Diver with the white dial and red accent. So pretty legit cool watch, man. Swiss made diver. For $600+ it better check all the boxes, right? So I'll be doing an unboxing and then a review on this one too. So
honestly, cool. You really can get a really nice watch for right around $500.
Absolutely.
You can. Anything up it's if you're just using it as a tool and you're not really into watches or anything like that. Yeah, $500 will do perfect. When it starts to get up past that, again, it's all man jewelry, but it's you're getting into the whole different level there. But
yeah, it almost seems like for $300 there are micro brands, San Martin, some of these brands out there, Handocker,
Zelos, dude.
Zelos, yes.
Like they're $369, bro. All titanium. Come on, man. That's
like you can get a really good watch for the money. It's just I feel like there's a lot of I get it. Like you can get an homage for $60, $80. Yes, totally. And some of them are awesome looking, really cool. But if you want it specced out, you gotta spend just double, triple, and then you're in a whole different realm.
Yeah.
And I've come to learn that too from experience, because I mean, like, and to this day, I'll still buy a $20 watch, no problem. But yeah, I'm realizing that if you just hold out and spend a little bit more, you can get so much more value.
Yeah. And see, and my thing on like the Paganis and also the kind, you would believe it. I'm sure you've got it too. If you say anything negative about some of those AliExpress watches, I have got more hate comments on honestly reviewing a Pagani design or one of those watches than I have ever on anything high end. And my contention is, I always get the, come on, man, it's only a $50 watch. What do you want? Well, one, I want it to work correctly. So if that means you got to put in better stuff and raise the price to $75 to make it a better watch, then do that. Because to sell me a $50 watch that doesn't work properly, or like they lied to you about all stainless steel, or sometimes they'll say it's got a sapphire crystal and they'll put a little sticker on it and it's not, it's mineral.
Yeah. I've had that happen too.
You see? So it's like, come on, man. I would be much happier to buy your watch if you actually did put the real thing in and you did upgrade the movement a little bit and charged $100 instead of $50.
Yeah.
But
it happens all the time. And you see that, I think, with us as reviewers, is that it always comes down to, this watch is great, but if you had just put in X,
right,
I would have spent 20, 30, 40 more. Like usually that tends to be the case. And then when it's a watch that's specced out and you're like, man, this thing's awesome, it's usually because it's $500, $700, $800. And then you get, understandably so, you have people that are like, it's a great watch, I would never spend that much, which I get. You just have to make the decision of, what are you comfortable with? Like, what do you want to do? At the end of the day, it's your money you got to spend, but this is 100%. The watch for what you're getting, right? So,
but see, I think maybe you're like me. I think you're trying. In the end, you actually end up saving people money. If I got this saying, buy nice or buy it twice. Yeah. I don't know how many times I've bought stuff trying to cheap out, regardless of what it is. And then in the end, if I just would have waited, if I just had a little bit of patience and waited for what I exactly wanted or something that was a little bit better, I could have, I'm like, oh, and then I end up buying that better thing anyway. Now it cost me the price of that better thing, like a watch, but I've got 5 other watches I built up to that.
And it happens all the time.
And it happens all the time, man. And you try to explain to people, because a lot of people that aren't watch people, they wear a watch. But if you ask them about it, they're like, I don't know. I just bought it on, it was $50 or $100. $100 is a lot of money to a lot of people for a watch. It is. My Apple watches. Oh yeah, but it's like $300, man. It's $400. It's expensive. And you're like, you got one of these on. You're like,
done.
Yeah. Okay.
I definitely would say it has taken me a while to get to that point, because I was the same way. You want to spend $200 on a watch? Like, I'm gonna have to stop and think about this and like really weigh my options and like, is it gonna suck? Is it, is it gonna last forever? Like what are the, there's a risk, right? And then once you realize like, for $200-$300, you're always getting, generally, with subtracting fashion brands out of the mix, you're getting like good value. Like, you're going to get some good specs. You're going to get a good movement. You're going to get good material. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you kind of, it kind of takes away that fear of, is this going to be worth it? Whereas if you go to Macy's and you go buy a Michael Kors watch for $250, you kind of overpaid. All. Like,
I'm going, cause I had one of those years ago. It was like a chronograph. I didn't know what I had. Wife was like, "Ooh," she had the purse, and she was like, "Ooh, this looks like a nice watch." And I don't even remember where we bought it. And it fell apart. It fell apart. Yeah. But even then, I didn't think. I just was like, "Well, I got to get a new watch. What do I get for $100 or $60 or
And in contrast to that, even you can go to the Fossil store, buy a Fossil, and guess what? That's a good watch. Like, it's not a high horology watch, but for a quartz movement, brand new, you're probably going to pay a little more. But you know what? I have had Fossil watches that they lasted until I just decided to sell them. They never broke on me. Like, they were just good watches. I mean, they just weren't great watches, I guess you could say.
Right. It forgot what the heck I was going to say. But anyway, no, you're right.
Well, and like Timothy was saying in the comments, like, you don't have to spend a ton of money. Like, secondhand is where it's at. And I'm learning that too, that if you just have some patience, know what you're looking for, and just camp out the secondary markets, you can get a really good deal almost all the time, with the exception of maybe some micro brands that are still in high demand that are going for more than what they were retail. But that's rare. That's the exception.
Yeah. So, I remember what I was going to say. You probably have the same, like, I think a lot of YouTube watch reviewers have the same philosophy or whatever. They enjoy watches. They're into the hobby, but they want to help people out. They want to review, let people make informed decisions about what they're buying, and to save money a lot of times, or to just, basically help people out. Because like you were saying, so the specs and stuff on a Zelos, $369. If you've seen a review of any Zelos, the stuff it comes with, the specs and features, the sapphire crystals, the lume, all that for $369. And then you go look at a $369 whatever famous brand, because a lot of people they're like, I heard of Citizen before, and Citizen makes great watches. But if you look at a $300 Citizen, a lot of them will come with Hardlex crystal. And a lot of them will come, it'll be an eco drive, not an automatic.
Right.
So I've never heard of Zelos before. So they won't buy it just on, principle. I never heard of them. I don't know. So I'll go get a Citizen.
I'll go get a Seiko
Seiko. Seiko.
It's true. It's true though, because there's that, and I hate to say it, but even some brands like fashion brands, I'll go buy a Gucci watch for $1,000 because it's Gucci, and you're like,
don't do that.
Now, there are exceptions even to this, what we're talking about, because like Calvin Klein has automatics that are Swiss made.
They do.
Good bang for buck there, but it's a
you saw that video
fashion
too,
watch. Yes.
I was like, I'll buy that
Mando,
one.
Mondo with Last Time I Kind Ate. Dude, he's the one who opened my eyes to Calvin Klein watches. Like I was like, wait, what? Like this is automatic? Oh, dang, Swiss made, like nice. So
yeah,
it's cool. Nice, man.
100%.
So I wanted to ask you, and thanks again, everyone who's joining us. Interesting. Troy just dropped in the chat. Bald Watch Collector.
Hey, what's up, man?
Welcome to the party. Grab your drinks.
Oh, nearly 1 a.m. Well, geez, thanks for showing up.
Yeah, it's commitment. Hey, man,
100%.
We appreciate the love. So I wanted to ask you guys, because you recently hit 1,000 subs.
I did.
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Big round of applause.
Thank you
for Matt Stingray. I was going to ask, like, this is something I'm curious on. So I wanted to pick your brain, and I'm sure other people, not only YouTubers, but viewers in the comments want to hear about, is working with companies, like doing collaborations with these other companies out there. What's the best and the worst experience you've had? And I'll share some of my own, just so it's not like you tell me everything. No. I'll give you my insight, but I'm kind of I'm curious to hear these kind of stories.
So this may or may not shock you, but I have not received a watch in for review from a company, straight from a company to me.
Okay.
I
hasn't happened yet.
It has gone third party. Now I have been the third or fourth on down the line.
Sure.
Actually the closest probably I got was the foreign Swit seaplane.
Okay.
It was
that was like a $700 watch, right?
It's a nice watch.
Yeah.
It's a nice watch. And the new one they got out, Chris did a review on that one. Watch Chris. Man, the colors on that one, the white, the blue, and the red looks great.
Yeah, man.
I think I might have that one coming in. So I've never had a watch come directly from the company straight to me. I've always been like down the line. Okay. Or like when Chris was helping me out, he would reach out to them and say, hey, do you mind if I pass it on to Rock the Watch? And they'd be like, sure.
No big deal.
But I did. So I've had all positive feedback from
really?
all those.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never had any problems, except I caused one problem. So I screwed up. First watch I ever did was the Gen Clear Diver from Second Hour Watches.
Yeah.
Fantastic watch. It's a beautiful watch. I get it and I'm done. I said, hey, you want me to send it to another reviewer or send it back? And they're in Australia. He's like, go ahead, send it back. Let me know what it costs and I'll shoot you the postage or whatever. So me, like we were talking about earlier, being from the States, I say UPS. I'm not going to trust our postal service. I don't even know if they do that, but UPS.
Right. Yeah.
Because I have a UPS account. I go in there, create the label. It was like $140 to ship it back.
Dang.
I sent it to him. I said, yeah, it's like $140. And he was like, what? Why? It was only $40 for DHL. I don't know, dude. I screwed it up. And I said, well, okay, don't worry about it. I'll pay for the whole thing. Yeah. I got it. It's not a big deal. It's my screw up. I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. And he's like, no. He was a gentleman. He's like, no. I'll pay for half. And I'm like, well, look, I'm sorry. You don't have to. But I will pay for the whole thing. And he ended up sending me half. So I ended up, probably sticking him for about $30, unfortunately. And I apologized up and down. And I was like, next time I'll send a DHL or whatever. Or I'll just pay for it and send it back to him and not have him. Because I like UPS the way they track stuff and not have him pay for it if I get another one. So
I've learned. That's funny, man. So you just didn't know. So that's
I didn't know.
Like intentional. It wasn't. You're just let me stick it to this micro brand. Yeah, like I've noticed DHL and FedEx tend to be the more, I guess, reasonable priced, like worldwide option. I guess UPS too. Just depends where it's going. But yeah, man. Okay, so you really haven't had any like bad experiences with?
No, I've pretty much got positive feedback. That I did one that Roebuck Diviso that was kind of in that Gulf colors, which is a real cool watch. Said he was going to come out with a diver one. I don't know what happened to that. I haven't seen it around, but that guy was cool. They're pretty cool to me.
Yeah, man. All right. Well,
what about you?
Oh boy, have I got some stories. So I'm not going to burn any companies here on the live chat, right? No names, but I will say, this is one thing that upsets, it bugs me. It's like a pet peeve, I guess, if you will. Mm-hmm. When a brand will reach out to me, let's say through email or Instagram, whatever, it's like, hey, we've seen your work. We really like your content. We'd like to send you X product to review on your channel. Would you be interested in? Let us know. And I'm like, I'll look into their company, their website, whatever. And I'm like, man, yeah, like, hey, this seems pretty cool. You guys look like you got a decent product. I'm interested. What's the, tell me the details. Cause I don't know if there's a catch. I don't know what there could be a catch. So I'm like, send me more info. And then I get nothing. And I'm just like, you reached out to me and I told you I'm game. And then you just like, don't respond to my emails. And I'll even do like a follow-up, like, hey, were you still serious about this? Or like, what's up? So I don't know what it is. I almost feel like they blanket message a whole bunch of content creators.
So. Yeah.
And then the first 5 to like jump in it, they're like, okay, this, and this. Or they look at maybe how many views do you get? Or
how big their channel is.
So it's kind of like if you really want me, you're reaching out to me, then let me do it, right? Otherwise, don't waste my time, because I'll actually spend time looking at your website and going through your stuff and decide like, oh yeah, this is cool. So I've had that happen. And there was one brand that, this was really weird, man. So I don't want to say the brand name, but they were like, they even used Schwartz Force. Like they dropped, like they were all into me. I'm like, oh, nice. Like you dropped Schwartz Force. Like
that's their marketing.
You're on. Like, yeah. Dude. So I'm like, hey, cool. Yeah. Let me look into this. And I realized on their website that there was nowhere to buy the watch. Like I Googled it, like you can't purchase this watch, these watches, these models that they have. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. It seems to be heavily influenced in India and some of like Asia and these other places. So I'm like, okay, so this isn't really geared towards my demographic, maybe. Canada, US, UK, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay. So I send a message back. I'm like, hey, your watches they're Swiss made, really nice looking watches, a little bit larger, which I've seen in a lot of micro brands. And I said, I pretty much was like, couple questions for my audience is, how did they buy the watch if they're interested in picking one up? I noticed that almost all of your designs are integrated bracelets, which I have concerns as far as how do I get additional bracelets, additional links, straps, aftermarket, what's going to be the case there. And like, I guess I just asked the wrong questions and they like just ignored me. They were like, this guy's he's too like interested, I guess. And like, we just want someone to say our watch looks pretty. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I guess I'm out. Right. So I've had experiences like that. And then Dave G is one of my subscribers, good guy, man, always commenting my videos. And he forwarded me an email he got about a brand reaching out to him. He's not a content creator, but they were like, we saw your Instagram and we think this would be a great opportunity to be an ambassador for our program. Like reaching out to him. And he's like, what? And they're like, yeah, we'll give you a discount. So like they weren't even giving like the watch. I'm like, oh, dude, definitely no.
So I have gotten those.
Okay.
And then I go look at like on Instagram and I shut that down right away. I'm like, nope. And I just get rid of them. I know there was a blanket. I did get the whole Strapsco thing around that same time that all of us kind of got in with that. And that was a cool experience. And it was like, great, they're great. They were like, pick what you want here and pick it and we'll send them to you and do your review and done. And I was like, cool, man. Okay. So I got it in that whole thing. And then I have gotten a couple where some of the brands, like you said, I go look and I'm like, no. And I know you'll see some of the stories. I mean, apparently a lot of brands do that to high-end YouTube. Random Rob has mentioned that in his live stream sometimes. Like people ask him, when are you going to review this, Rob? And he'll go, man, I reached out to them and they said it's been about 2 years. We've been going back and forth and they just never send a watch. And I'm like,
it's so weird.
Yeah.
I've even offered, like, I'll tell some brands, I'll be like, you know what? I'll pay the shipping, or you know what? I'll pay, give me a discount. I'll just buy your watch because I'm interested. But like, even that they won't like go for it. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I know Josh from the Town Watch. He's got that company Ball. He was one of the first channels they work that they would work with. And man, they wanted him to sign like release papers and all kinds of stuff, and Christopher Ward, I know that they're like, yeah, to review a Christopher Ward. It's kind of sometimes with the coming overseas to get from England, getting into the country with the customs and all that kind of stuff. There's some hoops you have to jump through. And I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And that was kind of the funny thing with the whole Filippo Loretti fiasco was like, they just never, I think because they knew I was a watch channel. So like there was never any pushback. And I talked with other watch channels that they also got hit up by them around the same time. but for some reason they were willing to send me that automatic, but they like wouldn't budge with these other guys, and they were bigger channels. And I was kind of like, that's interesting. I guess they were just not willing to do more than one or what it was. But yeah, for whatever reason, I was like, well, I mean, at least it's out there now. So if someone is really interested, like, okay, but this is always the case, right? With these brands, is that you can spend your money somewhere else and get better. I mean,
that's why on some of these, like, I know certain companies will say, we'd like you to review our watch. And like we said, we won't name any. Well, I'd like you to review our watch, but you can't compare to any other watch brands. And you're like, wait a minute. When I go buy a car, unless I'm a diehard whatever brand fan, I compare. I go, hey, what kind of specs and features does this car have? What am I looking for? What color? Let me go see this brand, that brand, you know. So people do it with everything. And you don't want them to compare? Why not? What are you afraid of? That's my question. Like, what are you guys afraid of? If you think your watch is that good, you know.
It is. It kind of leaves like and this is the hard part about this, right? Like, being behind the scenes is, you know, that they told that to you. So they told that to everyone. Yeah. And then you see who went for it and who didn't. And then you're like, all right, like, I get it. No hate, not throwing shade. I would never call anyone out, but you definitely, it opens your eyes to like, you either have to be okay playing the game, or you got to stand your ground and be like, I can't review that brand because they did X, Y, Z.
Right.
And it is what it is. But like, it's definitely being behind the scenes as a YouTuber. Like, you kind of get access to that whole world of,
oh yeah. You see all the inner workings and the relationships. And like you said, then you see massive channels and you're like, I know how they got that. And you're like, okay, I'll keep quiet or whatever. Not my business.
Yeah. But then there's always exceptions, right? Like, they could change it. And that's why I keep my mouth shut, because they could have told channel A, hey, be honest, give us your thoughts, and we'll send you this for free. Or they could have told channel B, hey, be honest, but we're only going to give you 50% off if you want to buy the item. Like, you really don't know, like, what's going on. So I'm just saying, do you, man.
Yeah, no, that's true. I've actually heard that between YouTubers, like, they send YouTuber A this list of demands and the YouTuber already has the watch in hand and like, nope, no thanks. And they send the watch back with them. Yeah. And YouTuber B has the watch inbound and never received the email, never received the list of demands. They were just like, just review it. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
I don't know what determines it, but it's kind of funny to me. And I always think, like, dude, if you got a product, just stand by it. And if it sucks, like, someone's going to tell you. Like, you're not going to fool people. Like, at the end of the day, just.
Well, if you truly do offer a good product, it doesn't have to be exceptional, but a good product at a reasonable, fair price, people are going to pick up on it. They're going to. You just got to hang in there and say, hey, compare my watch against A, B, C. That's why Zelos is killing it.
Yeah.
Zelos is killing it. And they make limited editions. Like the one I have, I think is number 10 of 150. Yeah. So they'll make like 500 or 600 of certain watches in 4 different colorways, 150 of each, and they're gone within days a lot of times because people that know what they're getting. They're getting exceptional quality for not a lot of money. So,
yeah. And I think that, like Ken was saying, and also, Alpha Whiskey Charlie, Mr. AWC, like the watch community, the watch fam knows what's up. They're like very perceptive, and Ken was saying, like, you might have more leverage with bigger channels because they have more of a reach. I actually think they probably get restricted more because they have a bigger reach. Like, they're not going to worry about me and you because, yeah, we get a couple hundred views here and there, whatever. But if someone has 100,000 subscribers, they might get way more restrictions on what they can or can't do than we would, because that has more of an impact to their brand.
Right. Right.
But yeah, the one thing I don't like about, it's not just Zelo specifically, right? But like the limited edition thing is, man, some of those, they just go so quick and you miss out. And then of course you see it online. You use the Timex Q. We don't have to use a micro brand. Timex Q. Like, they go for stupid prices on the used market from someone that has no interest in the watch itself. It's just an opportunity to make a quick buck.
Yep. The scalpers. The scalpers. They do the same thing. They did the same thing with the PS5 over Christmas. It was ridiculous. They do the same thing with the watches. They'll go in and buy, oh, we got this sale. They'll buy them all, like you said, and then drop them on. So Zelos put out this one, which they called the Damascus. It was titanium. I don't know if you saw it. It was like Damascus, but it was made with titanium. So it was like a blue and a gray kind of color tiger stripe, and they had a yellow, and it was like $1,500 watch. It was very limited. I think there was like 30 pieces in each color or something. I was going to buy one. I couldn't even get my information in fast enough before they were all sold out. I mean, I'm putting in credit card info. I'm like, oh, sorry, it's all sold out. I was like, The next day after people started receiving their watches, they were ending up on eBay for $2,500, $1,000 more than what they were sold. So it's like, come on, man. You know what she was doing. You bought 5 or 6 of them and just to make money, just to scalp people, so.
Like I get it. I get the opportunistic aspect of it, the playing the game. But it sucks because like you might just be an enthusiast who's been saving up for that watch or for a really cool micro brand, and you have your $800 or $1,000 in hand, and then you just miss out, and someone who has no passion behind it is just looking to make a buck. So that's where I wish some of these brands would make, instead of a limited edition, no, just do a production. Like it's an awesome looking watch. Like just make a couple thousand of them for the rest of us. Like, so
100%.
That's how I feel, at least. But
absolutely, the thing with those the way to get around that with the most of them though is like with Zelos and some of these other ones that are like that, is sign up for their email thing. They'll send you email alert, and you got to have your money waiting, and just go in and boom, hit them and get your watch. But yeah, man, I just don't. I have a problem with predatory practices, man. I don't like. You know what I mean? It's to do that kind of stuff.
It's not just watches. This could be any other. We were talking
what's
about
going on. Yeah.
In other areas,
other areas of life. Right. Same type of thing. For example, and I'm not looking for a pat on the back, but when I sold like 8 watches, I sold them at huge discounts, like some of them half off or less, because I'm not trying to make money off it. I want other people to enjoy them, move them on, and just recover some of my money so I can put it back into something else, back into another watch or something like that. But when people try to sit here, especially like you buy the watch and you think it's good. Oh, I spent $500 for this, so I should be able to easily get $500. That's not the way it works, playa. That's the only brand you could do that with is probably Rolex. Buy it, sit on it for 6 months, and you might make a little bit more money, But other than that, the rest of them lose money right off the bat.
Almost all of them, I would say, right? I know with my Brew watch, I got really lucky, and people are probably sick of hearing this, but it's like I was on eBay and I just happened to, because I'd always been looking at Brew watches. I'm like, I love the retrograph. I love the just they're automatics. Like they're cool looking watches. And I just happened to go onto eBay and I saw that retrograph, and it was going for I think it was just like right at $400.
Right.
I'm like, okay. And I went on the website for Brew, and they were $350 with the leather, $395 with the bracelet, and they were all sold out. I'm like, okay, so obviously this is sold out. They might get more in. I don't know if they will or won't.
Yeah.
But I went back to eBay, and it was like 40, 50 people watching this listing, and all the other Brew watches were like $600, $700, $800. I'm like, this guy's priced to sell. And they had an extra strap and an extra bracelet, and I said, done. And I jumped on it because it's like, these are selling for over retail. So for this guy, either something's messed up, I'm going to get like, it's going to broken.
Yeah. I'm going to get screwed.
Or it's going to be like a really good, deal, and ended up being good. But it's like, some of those brands, they just go for over retail because there's not enough and there's more demand. So
100%.
It sucks, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, dude. It happens with everything.
Yeah. Wow, man. Well, I know we've been jumping all over the place. So like, plans for 2021, let the chat know. What do you
just
got?
Keep on grinding, man. Like I said before, doing some up. Isn't it a grind? It's a grind. You gotta you gotta fit it into your life.
Yeah.
I think there was a spike because of COVID and people didn't have really much to do. And I started my channel right before COVID hit. So it gave, a lot of people, I guess,
It's been fun. Honestly, and meeting cool dudes like you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've been doing, and I know you guys these are like my loyal fans, right, in the chat and other channels. Like, thank you so much, guys, for even just coming to listen to us chat. Because I know sometimes that people just want to see reviews. They just want to see watches. I get it. And I've been doing a lot of kind of watch conversations with friends and other channels. And so I was even talking to Average Joe about this. Like, I think I might dial it back a little, maybe breaks on doing so much so quickly. I know like Rico's watches. I want to do a quick plug. Shout out to him. He's a new channel. So you guys should definitely go check him out because he's trying to build up his following. So I'm all about
too. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm all about supporting new, anyone that wants to start out, give them some love, subscribe, like go drop a nice comment because it really makes a difference to
100%. 100%. I think I'm doing live stream with him this Friday, the 5th. I think I'll, obviously put that stuff out and confirm with that.
Cool.
But just trying to grind, upgrade the channel.
I lost his audio. All right. Hang on. Let me see. Okay. You still there? Oh, no, you're back. Okay. You're back.
Yeah. No.
Right on. Okay. Yeah.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah. You can't hear me now?
No. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh,
fine.
Man. Well, look, then if you guys can hear me, I cannot hear you. This would be a good time to punch out then since you can't hear me. But what I was saying earlier was just upgrading the channel a little bit, background, changing things up, and just keep on grinding, man. But I did want to say one thing before we got out of here, and now I can't hear you say it. But are you ready? The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Tejas. Yes, sir. You know it. Hey, well, you just made my night. Matt, Rock the Watch, thank you so much for joining the channel. Everyone in the chat, thanks for joining us. And for your questions that we didn't get to, I'm going to make a note and we'll get to them in the next one. But thank you again. Hope y'all have a great weekend. And I will see y'all at the next one. As always, in case you didn't know, it's a great day to wear a watch and keep rocking the watch, as Matt would say. Take care.